Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Beck, the Executive Director of United to End Homelessness with Orange County United Way, and I'm really excited for our second part of our community chat series on emergency housing vouchers. Last week, we had a great overview, including speakers from HUD. So if you missed that one, you can find it on our Facebook and on our YouTube. And today we're going to be taking a deeper look at how these vouchers are going to work here in our community in Orange County. We have got an amazing panel today, which I'm really excited about. So just bear with me as I work my way through this long list of people, and they are very impressive titles. So we are joined today by Mayor Steve Jones from the city of Garden Grove, Marie Vu from the housing manager for the Orange County Housing Authority, Maria Hudson, senior housing specialist at the Santa Ana Housing Authority, Karen Cardwell, the housing authority manager for the Anaheim Housing Authority, and Doug Beck, the acting director of the Office of Care Coordination at the Orange County Healthcare Agency. Doug was with us last week. We're excited to have you back here today. And today, Doug is going to be helping to represent the continuum of care. He's got a lot of hats on his head that are very important. So Doug, thanks for coming back. So I would love to just take a moment for you to introduce yourselves and explain how you are connected to the emergency housing vouchers in our community. Mayor Jones, I will start with you.
Sure. Thank you, Bex, and thank you everyone for letting me participate in this today. So my name is Steve Jones. I'm the current elected mayor for City of Garden Grove. I've been with the city for many years now because I was actually originally appointed to the Planning Commission, and I served 8 years as a planning commissioner, and then was appointed to City Council and did a couple terms on City Council prior to becoming the mayor in 2016. So I'm kind of midterm and in full stride as the mayor. I've been very focused on what we call the Reimagine Garden Grove campaign, where we're trying to preserve everything special about our small town Mayberry-like feel from our original agricultural roots, but to position ourselves for the future as the large, nearly 200,000 population city that we've become. Homelessness and all things affordable housing and the full spectrum of housing are a major concern to me and to our community as we try and grapple with, as I said, with the realities of traffic and housing and homeless and just the large city issues that we've come to face. So we've got a homeless population of around 400 that we're aware of in the city. We've got a special resources team within our police department that's dedicated to going out and trying to be helpful and trying to get people into services and into beds. We've got a lot of partnerships with a bunch of wonderful outside agencies that are now diving into various components. And we're just doing everything we can to address our situation in a comprehensive manner.
Thank you so much. Would you be able to just share how many emergency housing vouchers have come to the Garden Grove Housing Authority?
Sure. So, as part of the American Rescue Plan, which was the big $19 trillion stimulus package that came out of the pandemic last year, I think it was something like $5 billion was allocated to try and create 70,000 emergency housing vouchers. City of Garden Grove got 117 vouchers. So that's what we have to work with.
Thank you so much. We will head over to Anaheim now. Karen, who are you and how are you connected to the EHVs?
Hi, thank you. My name is Karen Cardwell. I'm the manager of the Anaheim Housing Authority, and here in Anaheim, we serve close to 7,000 vouchers, and that's with the 278 emergency housing vouchers that we were recently allocated. So we serve a number of different populations and have a number of different rental assistance programs, but emergency housing vouchers are definitely our newest and 278. That's what we're doing.
278. That is a large number, and what an amazing opportunity for Anaheim. Thank you, Karen.
Absolutely.
Okay, Maria.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Hodson, and I'm with the City of Santa Ana Housing Authority. And I oversee the special purpose vouchers in our community of the City of Santa Ana. So emergency housing vouchers are our newest allocation. We received 89 emergency housing vouchers in Santa Ana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. Okay, Marie, I would love to hear from your vantage point over at the county.
Thank you for having me. My name is Marie Vu. I'm the housing manager of Orange County Housing Authority. We are the county housing authority, so our jurisdiction is covered 31 cities in Orange County. Out of 34 cities, we cover 31 because the Anaheim's, Garden Grove, and Santa Ana, they have their own housing authority. We currently we assist about 12,000 households with rental assistance monthly, and we have a partnership with about 3,600 landlords to pay a rental assistance to those households. We are excited to receive a location of 557 emergency housing voucher, which is the largest allocation we receive in 20 years. So we're pretty excited about it.
The largest allocation in 20 years. That is really helping put this in perspective. I knew it was a large allocation, but I didn't know that stat. Wow. Okay, Doug, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Bex, and thanks for having me. My name is Doug Beck. I'm the acting director of the Office of Care Coordination. Our office is the administrative entity of the continuum of care. So our primary role with emergency housing vouchers has been establishing the MOU and relationships between the continuum of care and the public housing authorities. Additionally, as the administrative entity, our office oversees and operates the coordinated entry system. Our coordinated entry team leads the efforts to match households to the public housing authorities and facilitates the multi-stakeholder level communication that's required during that transition of application to linkage. So.
Wonderful. I know you and your team have been incredibly busy, and we are going to dig into the coordinated entry system a little later. But Doug, how are we as a community, the COC, how are these vouchers going to be used to address homelessness?
So, yeah, as mentioned, we have over 1,000 vouchers coming into Orange County when you add up Orange County Housing Authority, Garden Grove, Anaheim, and Santa Ana. The coordinated entry team's working with the housing authorities to not only connect those vouchers to those that need it, but to use this as an opportunity to address different subpopulations of those experiencing homelessness, including families, survivors of domestic violence, transition-age youth, vets, people exiting institutions, and those that are moving on from the public, from permanent supportive housing. We do think that these vouchers, and we know these vouchers will generate a massive amount of opportunity throughout the homeless services community due to the amount of sort of backfill it will create through both shelters and permanent supportive housing due to those that are being matched to emergency housing vouchers, moving into their units and vacating the current resource they're using. So making opportunities available in shelter for those that currently need it. So we're really excited about this.
Thank you so much for helping to just explain some of the system flow that this influx of vouchers is going to allow for us to have. That's really exciting that we've got this opportunity for over 1,000 people to be able to end their homelessness in a variety of ways, coming out of a variety of settings to free up those resources for other people who are in need. One of the things that we talked about a little bit last week was the coordinated entry system and how people were going to get matched to those vouchers. So I would just love for each of you to take a moment and just talk about, are your emergency housing vouchers being matched through the coordinated entry system? I
I'm
am
happy.
seeing a lot of nodding heads.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
for you to unmute because our viewers can't see you nodding.
So this is Mayor Steve Jones. I'm happy to kind of start it out maybe just from a City of Garden Grove perspective. I think we're very pleased with how things are going so far. And I think we're very grateful just to have this whole new level of support from all these different outside agencies and, some of our emergency services grant providers helping assist, because the process of, identifying, getting referred, matching, and then ultimately providing housing for any of these individuals is pretty complicated. I mean, most of them don't have IDs, don't have proper documentation, they don't have their ducks in a row you can't just house them right away. So there's kind of a, call it at best probably 8 to 12 week process that people have to go through. I think we've been matched or referred to about 80 so far. And I think we've already placed about 10 of those into actual housing, which we consider a big success. So certainly still, a lot of work to be done and a lot of further momentum, but we think we're off to a great start, and we're just very happy for all the support that we're getting to be able to go through all those motions and get people in need actually into housing. So we feel like we're making a dent in it finally.
Thank you. And then I'll just do a quick check-in with Karen and Anaheim's and the coordinated entry system. And really, this is just so that for anybody watching who's curious about how they might advise somebody who would like to apply for an emergency housing voucher, to provide them with that guidance around how they might do that. So Karen, I'd love to hear from you about the connection between your EHVs and the coordinated entry system.
Sure. We are currently working with the coordinated entry system for all of our vouchers. So all 278 are being matched through coordinated entry. And we often get this question from the public calling our offices at the city and at the housing authority itself, wanting to know how they can access those vouchers. And we refer them to 211. To call to get access to that coordinated entry system, as we don't carry a waiting list for these vouchers. All of them do have to be referred through coordinated entry.
Thank you so much, Karen. Maria, is it sort of the same at Santa Ana?
Yes, that's correct. So the Santa Ana Housing Authority is also receiving all 89 referrals from the coordinated entry system. And same when we have clients either coming in or coming in or over the phone, their first point of contact to those vouchers is that 211.
Thank you so much, Marie. I suspect I know the answer, but would love to hear from you.
It is same with Orange County Housing Authority. We receive quite a few referral already, match already from coordinated entry system, more than 300. We receive a 331 refer, and we processing. We have about 50 plus that voucher in hands for clients to searching. And similar to Karen's and Maria on regarding coordinated system, all of our housing opportunity for the homeless is referred through coordinated system. And then we have a lot of call clients, the same thing that, how to connect. And the message I like to give out to folks is it is a process. So when you call 211, you're not going to be able to get an application to get directly have access to emergency housing vouchers. So sometimes you have to call another agency, and you need to make sometimes wait for an appointment because their agency is also busy themselves because they bombarded with contact. So they need to be patient that, it's a process. It's not something that quick.
Thank you, Marie. Okay, so resounding yes from everybody that the coordinated entry system is how these vouchers are being matched. So Doug, I'm going to come back to you. What is the coordinated entry system? How does this work?
So yeah, the goal of the coordinated entry system, or CES, like a lot of us refer it to, is to effectively connect individuals and families at risk of homelessness or experiencing homelessness to the appropriate supportive service and housing intervention to secure permanent and stable housing. CES utilizes a priority schema that allows for those that are with the highest service needs and longest lengths of homelessness to be served with considering how available resources meet each individual or family's need. The role of CES in the program is to make referrals to the emergency housing vouchers, thus eliminating the administrative burden of the public housing authorities to determine eligibility and qualifications. The CES is utilizing their priority or our prioritization policy to match folks into EHV, meaning length of homelessness is the key or the most important factor in ranking priority.
Thank you so much. I know the CES, the coordinated entry system, it can be a challenging thing for people to wrap their mind around, but Doug, thank you for explaining that so simply. It's a tool in our community, and that communities anywhere that's receiving funding from HUD has to have a coordinated entry system to be able to help make resources matched to the right people. So trying to get the right interventions to the right people so that their homelessness can end. Do we have any idea with the coordinated entry system and the referrals to the housing authorities, what kind of timelines are we looking at, Doug?
Yes.
For EHVs?
So that's going to vary, but the goal is to really expedite the referrals and applications as fast as possible. The public housing authorities have really done a tremendous amount of work in streamlining documentation and requirements and standardizing forms that need to be completed. This has allowed us to really simplify the process, and it's hard to put a time frame on it, but we're seeing people are holding vouchers at this moment, and we really started in late July and honestly, we really started in early August. So it's moving quickly.
That is wonderful. Well, a huge thank you to everybody here for everything that you did. I know it has been an incredibly heavy lift to get us to this place where emergency housing vouchers are in people's hands. And so I would love a quick status update from each of you for your housing authority. How many people have been matched and how many vouchers have been issued, and has anybody leased up? Before I pass over to you for your numbers, what matched means is that somebody's come through the coordinated entry system and they have been matched with the opportunity for an emergency housing voucher. So when somebody's matched, it doesn't mean that they have a voucher, but it means they've been paired with that opportunity for that voucher. And then they have to complete the application process, be able to do all of the paperwork associated with that, complete that, then the housing authority reviews the application and would issue a voucher. So I will come over to Marie first. I know you mentioned some numbers, but I want to make sure we've got them really clear in our conversation.
All right, so we allocate a total of 557 vouchers. So as far as matching, we received 331 match. We interview and we probably processing about over 100 applications. We issue 52 vouchers in hand so that people can look for units. About 26 of those households are currently working with a support services agencies such as United Way. I believe United Way have Welcome Home OC have about 16 referred, and then the others go to other support services agency. But yeah, there's people, they can either find a unit on their own, or if they need help with housing navigation, there's support services available to help them.
Wonderful, thank you, Marie. Maria.
Hi, thank you. So we're allocated 89 emergency housing vouchers. We've been matched with 33. We've had 33 referrals received to date. We have reached out to 23 of those 33 for a phone interview. They're in various stages of that process. However, we have been able to issue 6 vouchers. So as of today, we have 6 vouchers out there looking for a unit. We haven't had any leased up yet, so we're hoping to get a lease up soon. So those are our numbers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria. Mayor Jones.
So in Garden Grove, we were allocated a total of 117 emergency housing vouchers. We've been matched with 80 referrals. And at this point, we've already housed, and I just confirmed that they've actually been housed. So not just going through the process, but we've actually housed 10 of those. So per Doug's point, I mean, going back to, we're just talking about July till now, we feel like we're on the right track, and we're just appreciative of the network that's set up now to be able to process people through, to identify them, make sure they match all the right criteria, get their documentation, their IDs, and actually get them into housing within such a relatively short period of time. So we're ecstatic about how we're doing so far, and we're looking forward to doing more.
That really is remarkable to have people leased up already. So a huge congratulations to everybody who's helped to be a part of that over in Garden Grove. Karen, how about you? What's happening with Anaheim?
So again, we have 278 vouchers that we've been allocated. We have been matched with over 180 so far. And out of those, we've issued close to 50 vouchers. And we're on track to issue at least another 10 this week. So we're moving along, and we're pretty hopeful that we're going to be able to get all of ours issued within at least the next month to month and a half, hopefully. The matches are working well. We're able to work with our providers very well. So this has been about as smooth a process as you can hope for, I think. And so we're doing pretty well.
That is remarkable.
Nobody leased yet.
Not yet, but it's coming.
Yes, it's coming.
Talking of which, one of the things that we heard mentioned was housing navigation and support around that. Karen, I'll just come straight back to you. Do you have partner agencies that are offering the housing navigation support to your clients who are going to receive these EHVs?
We do. We have several housing providers that we have contracted with, where we have taken our funding with the vouchers and matched them with other funding that we have in the city. And so there's a whole list of providers. Would you like me to share exactly who they are, or?
I think I'm curious around is the matching to the provider, is that happening through CES, or is that happening when they are issued their voucher?
For us, it is happening through CES. So there was a time that we issued vouchers as we were going through the contracting process. We were trying to get the vouchers out as quickly as possible. So some people got issued a voucher without a service provider attached, except for the people they were already attached to when they came into CES. So it's not like they didn't have a service provider, they just didn't have necessarily the one that they were going to stay with through the housing navigation and lease up process. So, but as we've been going along, Coordinated Entry has been helping out by referring them to the service providers that we provided to them to do that work. So they've been helping out a good deal to help do that work for us.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Karen. Maria, what's happening around housing navigation for your EHV voucher holders over in Santa Ana?
So for the city of Santa Ana, all of our emergency housing vouchers are going to be matched either through the whole person care program, through the county. And we also have a contract that we're still ironing out with another provider that will provide the housing navigation services. And we've allocated some funds from a grant with the city, from city funds, to assist with those navigation services and owner incentives for unit matches. And so it's either through, it's a variety of service providers, but primarily with the county. A third will be matched through the Whole Person Care Program, and the other will come from county funds for assistance with housing navigation and owner incentives.
Thank you, Maria. Marie, I'll come to you next.
Right, for the Orange County Housing Authority, and thanks for the partnership with the county continuum of care and the healthcare agency. To the partnership, we was able to utilize some of the existing contract. They expanded the contract to provide support services to include our emergency housing voucher, which is great for us because you may not aware that when HUD funded the voucher, it did not come with support services funding. And they said specifically that they do not fund the support services, and housing authority is supposed to work with the local community to utilize other funds to assist with this household. And we're looking at the assistance will be with both for housing navigation at the beginning, and once they're in the units, also assist them with maintain they be a good housekeeping and make sure they pay their rent on times, and those kind of important for this population. So we were lucky to be able to, like I say, partnership with. So thank you, Doug and his team that connect us with us. So like everybody said, we wouldn't be able to do it without the partnership, the local partnerships.
Thank you, Marie. Mayor Jones.
Yeah, I would like to elaborate on this briefly and actually give a few sort of shameless plugs to some of the wonderful partnerships that we've had, starting with none other than United Way, who I think, since the Great Recession, and we've seen such a huge spike in homelessness, those at risk of becoming homeless, just changes in the dynamics of our affordability of housing at all levels. And United Way, I think, led the charge several years ago when they first did the cost of homelessness study. I think that enlightened Orange County to say, regardless of where you're at on political spectrums or your philosophical beliefs of how to deal with this comprehensive set of problems, this is what we're actually spending. And it was something like $300 million a year in Orange County. So it changed the dialogue. It fundamentally changed the dialogue to say, this is what we're already spending. How could we better allocate? And that, I think, set the stage for just a whole lot of creativity, a whole lot of resourceful nonprofits to come in and fill specific segments of this. So I think that what was the backdrop that created this navigation, partnerships that we have. So starting with United Way, but in Garden Grove, we work with Interval House, we work with Stand Up for Kids OC, Families Forward, Illumination Foundation, Mercy House, Okapica, Community Action Partnership, Orange County, Lutheran Social Services, Housing for Health OC, People Assisting the Homeless, and many others. And because we've already got that network in place of all those service providers, that was our natural go-to to identify and then connect through the coordinated entry system process to get so many matched and housed, I think, coming right out of the gate in such a timely manner.
A common thread that I heard through everybody's responses was this just collaboration and creativity, and a lot of very thoughtful sort of breathing of resources. And I know how incredibly challenging that can be. And so I just want to commend you all for your dedication to figuring out how EHV voucher holders in our community will be able to be assisted, with the housing navigation support to be able to help find a unit, and with support services as they go through that process. And so I just want to say thank you. I know we talked about a lot of different funding sources and a lot of different partners, and I have an idea about how complicated that is. And so just thank you for your perseverance. And it's so exciting to to see all those conversations and meetings that were had over the last few months, really now with vouchers in hand and people leasing up, and I know so many more to come. I'm going to switch to kind of some rapid fire questions here that we had sort of specific to these vouchers. It'll kind of be like a buzzer response. Whoever unmutes first gets to answer the question. So, first question, how long do emergency housing vouchers last?
I can answer that one. This is Maria with the Santa Ana Housing Authority. So there isn't a time limit for the voucher. The voucher can be utilized as long as the family is in need of the housing assistance. However, when their voucher is issued, there is a window of time that their voucher is issued for. So they do have to find suitable housing within that time frame. So each housing authority issues the voucher and they provide a time frame. That's where the time frame comes in. However, once they're on the program and leased up, there isn't a window of time that this opportunity exists. It's as long as the family needs the assistance.
Thank you. Can an emergency housing voucher that's issued by one of your housing authorities be used outside of Orange County?
Yes. So the short answer is yes. Somebody who's issued an emergency housing voucher can practice what's called portability and take that voucher basically anywhere in the United States that has a housing authority.
Thank you. I have another one. This is an addition to our questions, and Doug, you're probably going to be the right person to answer this. If somebody is a victim of domestic violence, are they able to access the potential for an EHV through coordinated entry system, or does it look a little different?
Yes, so those that are victims and survivors of domestic violence are eligible for these vouchers. They do need to be homeless or at risk of homelessness, and they would go through their domestic violence service provider for this process, and that process helps continue the anonymity of services that are received and keeping everyone, for obvious reasons, information extremely confidential. So the rest of the system, coordinated entry, protects information significantly, but information is shared amongst providers, where here we take an added layer of protection to ensure that only those that absolutely need to know, information about the households are provided that information. And that's only a very, very small handful of people.
Thank you. A quick follow-up to that, could you give some examples of domestic violence agencies in our community?
Yes, there's 4 main ones, and I know I'm gonna miss one of the 4 or a few of the 4, but Human Options is Interval House, and then I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher the last 2. Can you help me out here, Bex?
I want to say Laura's House.
Yes.
And then I'm looking at everybody else for the 4th. We will research this
I'm sorry.
momentarily, and we will pop that into the chat box for the 4th one.
They're all fantastic providers, and they're a close-knit community that works, diligently to serve its population. So yeah, they're great, and I apologize, I can't name the 4th.
That's okay. I was putting you on the spot there. It will come to you. We will pop it in the chat box. Is there a timeline for when we as a community have to lease these vouchers up by?
I can take that. The ideal is that we get funded this program effective July 1st of 2021. So HUD would like us to utilize them, all of this in 12 months. So that's the goal. So we do the best that we can, but that's at least 85 to 90% within 12 months. But of course, HUD would like us to utilize all those vouchers within 12 months.
when these vouchers came, were you guys able to hire more staff to help process this, or did you just have to do it with the team that you had?
I checked this one because I get 557 voucher. So we was able to be able to hire additional staff to assist. Yes.
For Anaheim, even though we got 278, we were not able to hire more staff. And we had also been given about over 100 new vouchers in another program over the past year as well. So our staff are really buckling down, and it's all hands on deck here. And so we're really working hard to get those vouchers issued.
Yeah, and I suspect for Santa Ana and Garden Grove, I'm going to guess it was the same, that you weren't able to bring on additional staff.
We actually did. Nate's here with me, and he's telling me that we've actually brought on a couple people, maybe not full-time, but we have actually staffed up into this space and maybe augmented it into other areas that we're working on within the greater basket of solutions that we're dealing with. But we have actually hired up.
For Santa Ana, we did not. We have the team that we've been working with, and we have not hired any new staff because of the EHVs.
I think that's just important for our community who's watching to know, is that the teams at the housing authorities have just been incredibly stretched. And during the global pandemic, there have been an influx of resources, not just the emergency housing vouchers. Many of the people here also had influxes of mainstream vouchers and other kinds of resources to be able to get out into the community. And so the fact that so many vouchers are being able to be matched, are being processed, that your teams are working on those, it really is extraordinary. And so just thank you on behalf of the Orange County community for all of the hours that you and your teams have put in to help us get to where we are today. If landlords and property owners are tuned in today, who should they contact if they're interested in providing an apartment? Karen, I'll come to you first.
If you're going to mention that, you can say that's a different.
They can contact me directly at the housing
Wonderful.
authority.
So we will pop in Karen's contact info in the chat box. Maria.
So at our agency, they can reach out to Julie Escobar. She's our special purpose vouchers, emergency housing voucher housing specialist. And if Julie's not available, I would be your secondary contact, Maria Hodson.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Jones.
Yeah, so in Garden Grove, our extraordinary member in this realm is Nate Robbins. And so you're welcome to contact him directly. He's authorized me to give out his information. So that's nateR@ggcity.org, or else 714-741-5206. And let me just elaborate on, I think finding landlords that are willing to participate in this type of program is part of the roadblock. So I think we need to continue to help educate landlords that this is a path that they should entertain and help be part of the kind of a global solution here within the county by being open-minded to participating in these EHV type programs. And although there's not any specific funding allocated for wraparound services within the EHVs, I think our agency and others are getting creative about working with some of our partners to also provide wraparound services. And that's part of our dialogue with landlords, is to say, you get this whole basket. We're not just gonna sort of dump someone into your property without the wraparound services to go with it. So I think that's just an important component to highlight that is necessary to include with this, and that's part of our pitch.
Thank you. Marie, how about for you?
Yeah, in Orange County Housing Authority, you can contact Mary Lee. Her phone number is 714-480-2734. And I think her email address will be pop up in the chat box.
Perfect. Yeah, I can see it. All that information, that contact information is being populated, which is fantastic. Really hope that that this will help spread the word about this incredible opportunity we have here together to help move the work of ending homelessness forward for over 1,000 households, and that means more people in those households. So really excited about that. We wrapped up our chat last week with me trying to get people to put into one word how they were feeling about this. And so I'm going to challenge you all to surpass last week's guests and do this in one word. So we have talked about this amazing opportunity that we have in front of us, the incredible work that has already happened, but we know that there's still work in front of us. And so I would just love to know, how are you feeling? Doug?
Excited.
Excited. Fantastic. Mayor Jones?
I'm gonna go with optimistic.
Optimistic. I love it. Marie?
Wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you. Maria?
Re-energized.
Re-energized. That's fantastic. Karen?
Committed.
Committed. Well, I think those words are the perfect summary in terms of how we are feeling, what's in front of us, and just I sense this hope from each of you and this dedication to making this happen. And so I'm sounding like a broken record now in terms of saying thank you. So I'll try to stop with that, but thank you for everything that you've been doing. And then a quick reminder for anybody who is watching, just in terms of how these vouchers are being matched, it is all through the coordinated entry system. So if anybody wants to be able to learn more about whether they might be eligible or not, the first place to start is 211, who can help connect you to an agency to figure out if you are eligible, get you connected to the coordinated entry system, and start that process. So thank you so much for all of the information that we were able to get through today. I look forward to welcoming you all back in a few months' time to give an update on how we're doing and the progress that we've been making. For those of you who joined us today on Zoom, a quick survey is going to pop up. So we'd appreciate you taking a moment to respond to that. And that does bring us to the end of our time together today. But thank you to everybody who submitted questions in advance to help us shape this dialogue and this conversation today. And again, thank you to each of the guests that joined me today to have this really robust conversation. We will see you soon. Thank you.